everyone, I'm Abadesi Osinsade, the founder and CEO of Hustle Crew, and in this week's exclusive members content, we are talking about internalized oppression. So, what does that even mean? Let's rewind a bit and think about systems of oppression, which we have discussed at length because they're so important for the work that we do to increase inclusion. So, one system of oppression that we can think about is white supremacy, this idea that white is the inferior race, especially compared to Black people, and therefore white people should be in power and make decisions. So we know that white supremacy is a type of oppression that manifests in the police force, in the legal system, in the education system. We've seen examples of that in research. What does the internalized part of this internalized oppression mean? Well, let's rewind again to what we learned about in the cycle of socialization. We learned that we are not born racist or sexist, but rather we learn to play roles through the images that we see in the media. We might grow up watching shows where the judge is always white and the criminal is always Black, and start to think that that is the role that these identities should play in society. Now, the cycle of socialization shows us that we internalize these images and internalize these stereotypes and then manifest these stereotypes in our actual life. So in a similar way, internalized oppression is where we actually start to believe that the systems of oppression are fact, are true, are the way that things should be, and behave in that way. So for example, a Black person like myself could have internalized some elements of white supremacy and actually start to believe that the white race is superior to my own race. And it could be that I then diminish parts of my Black identity and my Black culture because I have internalized that oppression and I believe that it is true. In a similar way, we live in a patriarchal system which oppresses women. You know, it's defined as a system of governance or society where men hold most of the power and women are excluded from it. So in this context, I could have also internalized some patriarchal elements of oppression. For example, research shows that women are socialized to put other people's feelings before their own. How have I internalized oppression in my life to show that to be the case? Well, here's a great example. I was once standing, waiting for the bus, and a man who walked past grabbed my ass. I was obviously really shocked, scared, terrified. Hello, that's a sexual assault. What's going on here? But because I was surrounded by other members of the public, and that person sort of just laughed and walked on, I actually decided to do nothing in that moment. I was like, I'm not even sure I have a right to vocalize anything right now. So I didn't. And I just got on with my day. And then the bus came and I got on it. That's a really good example of internalized oppression because women are such the inferior gender in the context of patriarchy that in that moment, I didn't even feel like I had a right to voice myself, my frustration, my anger, my rage, when I had been the victim of a sexual assault. So we could obviously spend days talking about this, but I hope this is a really great introduction into internalized oppression, and I hope you'll go and read more.